Now that we have a date that is the first of the month, we need to figure out which day of the week that's going to be on. And there is a date method. It's one that we haven't used yet. Remember all these get methods that a date object has? Well, the one that we're going to use now is the get day method. And this returns the weekday as a number, as 0 to 6, right? There's 7 weekdays, and this returns them as a number 0 to 6. That's 7 different numbers, but they're numbered 0 to 6, kind of like we do with array indices, right? Okay, so what we can do is we can find out what the weekday number is. So let's just create a variable called weekday and set it equal to this first day. So we've called that variable day dot get day. And that will return that number for us. All right, and that number is going to be 0 through 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This one would be a 3. And so what we want to do is we want to loop through and do exactly the number of blank spaces as we need. So if we treat this, let's do a loop like we do with an array, and let's start at 0 and go to less than the day number, and that will give us exactly the right number, right? The day number's 3, so we go from 0 to 2, and that gives us 3 blank days. So if we do that then, so here we're going to code the first beginning blank days. All right, so here we have the beginning blank days, and we want to start our code with a TR tag. So far we have an opening table tag, we have the caption, we have a TR tag and lots of TH tags and a closing TR tag. So the next thing we need is an opening TR tag. And we're going to do, like we did in the other ones, we're going to build this into a string, and then we'll just return that string. So here we'll just say this is the HTML code, maybe HTML code, and we want to start it equal to an opening TR tag. All right, so that's the beginning of it. And now we want to build that loop that is going to do the right number of blank spaces. So we start the var I equal to 0, and then we want to go as long as I is less than, and here we'll put that weekday number, and we'll increment day by 1 each time. All right, so this is our for loop. And all we want to do in each of these is add opening and closing TD tags. So HTML code, we want to concatenate, right? We want to add to it an opening and closing TD tag. So there's the opening and there's the closing. And these we want to be empty, so we're not putting anything in them. But it will add the right number of opening and closing TD tags. So if we save this, and we go to our version, nothing happens. And that's really for 2 reasons. One, we haven't called it. So let's go up and call this so we can watch what happens as it goes. So up here, after we write the caption and the headers, then the next thing we want to do is start writing these calendars. So calendar, HTML. We want to add it, so plus equals, and here's where we'll call the function, whatever it returns. Okay, so whatever it returns, we're going to add that. So if we go back down to that function, and we want to return, and we're going to do this as be the last thing, we'll keep adding more code, but for right now, we're going to return the HTML code at what part we already have. So save that, and now we go back and refresh. Oops, looks like we have an error. Let's find out what our error is. Because notice why I could tell it was an error. It's because there was, it stopped doing what we had, like the caption was gone, right? Cannot read the property of get full year on line 110. So let's go see what's wrong with line 110. So notice on line 110, it's using the cal date, the parameter, right? And I think maybe I forgot to send that, right? So here it is. I've called that function and I forgot to send a date. And the date we want to send it is this day. And so the error is actually up here when I called the function. So back up there at the function call, I'm going to add that date and it needs it to be able to do its work. So I'm going to refresh and the error goes away. So let's go see what we've got. Now notice it's not showing up. So we're calling the function. We don't have any errors. Why is it not showing it up? Because they are empty. So let's just put something in here so we can see them. Empty ones are really hard to see. So let's just put a howdy in here and see if they show up. And we refresh it. And sure enough, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, which is exactly what we want for this August 24th date. 1, 2, 3 blank spaces at the beginning of our calendar.